Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Low Tide City. I'm Falco, joined here with Skep.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Honestly, this morning has been so incredibly hype. The matches that have been on stream and off stream, just the screaming. Last set, guilty.
Oh my gosh.
Guilty, but it's been extremely enjoyable to be here. What about you?
Yeah, it's so much fun, and we just saw an incredible set between Cherry Limeade and Nonfiction. You know, a lot of people consider that an upset. And Cherry Limeade, it's hard because they haven't played since pools yesterday.
Yeah.
So they didn't do any redemption. They didn't even have to play a first round of the winner's bracket. They were kind of already there. So, oh man, just the emotion of everything that happened. And for Nonfiction, pulling off that upset, absolutely incredible.
And we have Marsh up there with a Play Low Ink poster, which you should play Low Ink, especially going into Splatoon 3. Please play Low Ink.
Yes, absolutely. Please support all the tournaments that IPL does too, and the competitive Splatoonity community in general. But coming up next, we have the first round of the losers bracket. We have Salt and Pepper versus Fish and Quips. So both of these teams, I believe, made the redemption bracket and then lost their first game. So they are now trying to get their own redemption here during the top cut. So. Looking forward to seeing what these teams can do. And Skep, you already commentated a set yesterday with casting a Salt and Pepper, is that right?
No, it was Fish and Quips
okay.
that I had the joy of commentating. Yeah, I believe I commentated them, and oh my, it's been a long weekend. I don't recall, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, we've all been running on, I don't know how many hours of sleep. This is day 2 of the tournament. However, a lot of us, this is our 4th day here. Most of us got here Thursday night and helped set up a few things and whatnot, and we're just very happy to be here. Even if we're running on just a little bit of sleep, the hype is here. Sometimes you may be able to hear all the Smash people in the background, and once again, we're happy that we can be here with them and that you guys are joining us today.
Yeah, it's really lovely, and honestly, that's not just the Smashers. That's the Splatooners as well.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of hype going on last round between the Smashers would be popping off and then the Splatooners would be popping off, just back and forth, just bouncing off of each other's energy.
Yeah.
It's incredibly infectious.
Yeah, it certainly is. And you see each day that we are here, they add more and more chairs for both the Smash and the Splatoon side for people to watch. And especially later today, we'll see people kind of trickling in. So it's of course, it's just so much fun.
As we get closer and closer to Grand Finals, and as we are in Losers Round 1, these gamers the pressure is on these gamers. This is a double elimination tournament, so whoever loses this round is out for the count. But if they manage to pull this off and win this, then they have a continued chance at making it all the way to Grands. And of course, it's a LAN. There are other LANs for Splatoon 2 coming up, but this is the one that people want to win. They want this under their belt. So all of these gamers are looking at a shot of Grand Finals.
They really are. And we can talk about the map pool because it's a very small pool than what some of these teams are used to. Mm-hmm. I think there's only 4 maps for each mode except Splat Zones has 5. So we are getting repeats and repeats and repeats. So these teams, they can figure out what works for them in some maps and modes and then try to get the ball rolling in some other ones.
It is a very limited pool. Everybody's pretty. If you've played, all the gamers on stage have played these map modes in this tournament under the same amount of pressure, sitting beside their teammates. So they're at a point where they're starting to congeal, starting to come up with a plan, a formula of how they want to approach things at a LAN environment, which is so much different than playing online.
That's right. And it looks like our teams are ready, so let's bring you the first matchup today for Salt and Pepper and Fish and Quips. We have Clay and Blitz on the Reef.
All right, here we go. We do see 17 rats ratting on that brush. And Fish and Quips sticking with a very similar comp as to what they've been running all weekend with Fusion on that Explode.
Yeah, I really like Fish and Quips going out. I mean, it's going to be pretty aggressive, and having the support from Lily to help paint is going to be very nice. But we do see an early ball already kind of go forward, but unfortunately Salt and Pepper already 3 players down, with the power claim now being formed by Fish and Quips, and that is going to be an early score, and we are getting some claims, and it's going to be hard for Salt and Pepper to kind of come back and respond, and we'll try and get closer to the basket here. There we go. Oh, and a few more players are going to go down, so 71, not the push that they were likely hoping for with having that kind of player advantage.
Yeah, certainly not the push of the century, but it is a push in the opening minute, which is, of course, always just going to score some mental damage onto your opponents. It does look like the Salt and Pepper is preparing for a push, but that one K-Pro who had 9 clams does go down, as we do see Soren over here getting flushed out by Marsh, as Fish and Quips does take control of the vast majority of the map. They have advantage in terms of special economy, but they don't currently have the clams to facilitate a push.
Yeah, Fish and Quips doing a really good job, even though they had the player advantage, couldn't quite score, but they were pretty quick to respond. And we see a Salt and Pepper, they're having to back up, trying to regroup, and kind of struggling to maintain this map control, and it's going to be hard. They need to win these 1v1s, but Tim now going to go on the side. They are alone. They thought, hey, maybe I can score. Is this a good opportunity? It's going to be really hard, but they're going to be shut out pretty quickly by Fish and Quips.
The Fish and Quips now has 19 clams, which is enough in order to be able to push, especially with that K-Gal getting closer and closer to that Booyah Bomb. They do have it online. They are tossing clams to Marsh. Marsh getting up in there, but is going to be very quickly shredded with that Booyah Bomb. A Salt and Pepper having stalled that push and taken advantage of it.
Yeah, and with that team wipe, and now Soren able to go up and try and score, but is spotted by the Explosher there, and more missiles now coming out too. It's just hard to push these forward. These teams, they're very aggressive, but they are also very good on defense.
Yeah, neither team managing having the score other than that initial push from Fish and Quips. So in terms of the defense that both teams have been able to put up so far, ooh, excellent splat from 17 Rats there. But either team really needs to break back in, because Fish and Quips, I'm sure they're not feeling comfortable at a score of 71 remaining. That is beatable in a heartbeat. And Salt and Pepper does need to get points on the board, and given the state of the game right now, I have no doubt that they'll be able to pull lead once they do manage to get in there. They do need to get in there first.
Ooh, Marsh doing a good job delaying this power claim formation, able to score and get below 71 where they were at previously, but not much support right now. We do have a few players who are trying to push up, but it's going to be really hard. Can they Magic break through and get it? The basket's still open, so they now have below 60 remaining, 2 players down, so you're extending your lead a little bit, but not quite the lead that you want yet.
Yeah, sometimes it just is, winning by 1,000 cuts, and that does seem like what Fish and Quips was trying to do there. Salt and Pepper is still on their back foot. They do still need to break in order to be able to take the W here. Fish and Quips having control of that bridge, especially with that Explo on there, is going to be very difficult for Salt and Pepper to push into, especially going 2 down. They do have that Mercy clam, but 2 of them actually, but they physically need to get in there, and they can't take control of bridge.
Yeah, it's very difficult because the Salt and Pepper, they've been in this situation quite a few times where they have a power claim, but they definitely have a player disadvantage. So they can't focus on pushing up. They are just a sitting target with that power claim at that point. But now they have 2 formed, pushing forward. Dan and Tim with the power claims. I believe Dan is close, and now Tim is going to be jumping in. I don't think it will be close enough to score, but they are going to throw the Booyah Bomb, and they are going to get both of them in and take the lead.
Yeah, that is a very decisive lead swap. Only by a couple of points, but those points are everything at this stage in the game. There's only 50 seconds left. 17 Rats pushing up, trying to get the pick on Marsh. Marsh shutting that down. It doesn't look like Fish and Quips. No, I take it back. They might not be able to shut this push down. It's just that Pro on top of Carr, Lily the Junior, trying to get the drop on him, but there's no more clams spawning in, so that they can't score anymore. However, where Salt and Pepper is pushed up, Fish and Quips has so much ground to cover in order to be able to try and pull lead here.
Yeah, they are now trying as they gain a little bit more map control, and we have 20 seconds left. Salt and Pepper, they could have extended their lead. Unfortunately, Dan didn't have any claims, but Confusion now trying to push forward. Help of the Booyah Bomb, but avoiding these missiles, trying to move forward. Just 10 seconds. 1 power claim and a few more claims will do it to take the lead, but they are 1 player down. Magic trying to stay alive and hiding in these bubbles. They do have the power claim. Are they going to get close enough to score? Magic with a nice pick, but they are now having trouble trying to get that power claim, which is going to go away very shortly. Can they get it just in time? They get another power clam, able to score just 10 more clams, but they are not close enough to the basket. Assault and Pepper just waiting by the basket, making sure nobody's going to come up. What a very, very close ending.
An extremely close ending. Once Salt and Pepper did manage to get under that basket, the way that they held that and the way they fanned out and the positioning that they took between Car and Plat and Street really was what enabled them to hold that push for so long. It really did not see like Fish and Quips was able to fan themselves out like that in order to keep the push bleeding. Which Salt and Pepper was able to do in a decisive manner. Great job from Lily at the end there, though, forming that power clam while Salt and Pepper was watching the previous power clam, trying to get that from being picked up. But you're not watching the little clams when you've got a power clam right underneath your basket. So that was a very good play.
No, yeah, especially right as overtime is starting, you are watching that power clam. You're making sure nobody's coming towards it. And then if somebody can form a power clam, especially as close as they were to the basket, that is a game changer and can help you take the lead.
For sure. Just literally that other power clam, had it not despawned, had it been picked up, that would have been a lead change right there. But we will be moving forward to Splat Zone's Piranha Pit. I like to see Magic's Slosher here, honestly.
Yeah, Slosher, using the Slosher just kind of on the ramps and the ledges, very, very powerful. And this is one of the biggest maps in the game. Just a lot of areas to paint and kind of grind your special and push forward to, you know, two Splat Zones. I'm personally not a big fan of the Splat Zone stages, but I give an exception for Piranha Pit.
I do think Piranha Pit is one of the best ones for that, given how the map geometry favors the split zone. Because you do have that fan on either side, which is important for Piranha Pit to control in general, not just for zones. Regardless of mode, controlling those fans is really important. And the way the map geometry leans into that split zone concept, I do think this is one of the better split zones maps as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll take a look at these weapons, see if they change up just a little bit. Let's see if, like you said, no, Magic sticking with the splatter shot. No Tri-Slosher here, but I do like the changes. Both teams have a few changes, and adding the brush and I believe adding the nozzle nose on the side of Fish and Quips.
Yeah, and also, so switching to that nozzle nose for that inkjet, which is going to be very useful in terms of shutting down those steps. So Salt and Pepper being the first team to cap that zone, but they're not going to be able to hold it. That K-shot being forced back all the way into useless, and Fish and Quips has the specials to burn on this re-engagement.
Yeah, they do, and now Fish and Quips able to take the lead for just a little bit, but two specials ready on the side of Salt and Pepper as some of these players are now being pushed out. Oh, and 3 players are now going to go down for Fish and Quips.
Yeah, but they are holding on to that zone for just a moment. Marsh, they are just trying to maintain control of that right fan. They are going to be swarmed by Assault and Pepper, but managing to hold their own, using that rail, maneuvering around. So good play there from Marsh. As a member of Fish and Quips does drop into the zone, it is forced into neutral as that inkjet comes out. This is a very tit-for-tat game in the first minute and a half.
Yeah, Soren doing a really good job avoiding the inkjet, trying to hide, and able to take down the inkjet on the landing, even with the drop board, and getting a nice double to cap the left side of the zone and almost help cap the right side, but no, those bubbles are going to interfere, and we just have a stalemate at mid right now.
Yeah, we do. Neither team managing to get below 80, which is a very beatable. We do see Fish and Quips capping that zone. They barely need any points in order to be able to turn this lead around, but it's just Magic near objective right now. 2 members of Fish and Quips going down as Assault and Pepper is in a retake, about to clear that penalty point, so they are going to be able to extend their lead here.
Assault and Pepper, they are doing a very good job just pushing out these Fish and Quip members, but now they are going to have a few more players down. This just goes to show how even these teams are on their 1v1s and how well they utilize their specials too to help either push the players out, cap the zone. We're not that, we're about 2 minutes into the match, but neither team is below 60.
I really love the way Fusion is using the sprinklers for that bubble combo, but also the way that they're maneuvering and applying chip and paint, like literally all over the entire map. If you can get Fusion set up on this, Fish and Quips is going to be able to pull the lead. The question is, how do you keep your Expo alive? Marsh there getting a shred on the baller, does manage to get a spicy little trade, but the zone is once again in neutral.
Yeah, zone is a neutral. Now Salt and Pepper, they're trying to get some more paint with a little more player advantage, and I feel like this map could be very green very shortly as a few more Fish and Quip players go down. The jumps are spotted too, so Dan having a field day getting some of these picks with the support of their teammates and 3 players down. This is looking very nice for Salt and Pepper.
It is. You can feel the shift in momentum to where it was very even at the start of the game. And now Assault and Pepper does seem to be in their groove. They do seem to be popping off and punishing Fish and Quips for what they are trying to accomplish. As Assault and Pepper gets below 50 remaining with a minute and a half left, Fish and Quips is going to need to get in there and apply penalty points. They do have that armor ready to go, but the junior goes down as we tick below 30.
Yeah, and I mean, Tim now doing a good job getting a few more picks, spotting a few of these players. But they're doing a good job with the lockouts. I mean, they are spotting every single player as they are able to drop down. And with the help of the missiles, you know, I think of them as mini point sensors. You can kind of track their location for just some time. And especially nice here where you can communicate where they are. But Fish and Quips trying to regain, trying to throw some specials. They are able to cap the zone for just a second, giving 58 penalty points.
Yeah, that's very important at this stage in the game. Salt and Pepper was getting dangerously close to a KO there, but now Fish and Quips has bought themselves more time. They are going to need to get in there, they are going to need to be strong about it, and they are going to need to be able to turn this into a lockout situation where to punish Assault and Pepper for how hard they've been locking them out so far this entire game.
Yeah, and they are doing a very good job with that, but we do see Fish and Quips pushing back in now. And again, having these distractions on the ramp, is this a player? Is this a sprinkler? What is this? I want to look up and aim that way. But now 3 players will go down on Assault and Pepper, so this is looking very nice for Fish and Quips, but they do have a lot of points that they need to get down to.
Yeah, but they have cleared that penalty, right? So they really do just need to hold it. They have to watch out for that stimuli from that brush, though. We do see Magic watching that over on the spawn belt. But they are burning through those specials as we head towards overtime. The brush dropping in with that baller on that left zone is going to force this into neutral. Magic in a 1v1 near that spawn belt, but he's the only player left standing as Assault and Pepper is prepped to cap that zone.
Yeah, and that... That did it. I mean, if you're Magic, it's so hard in that situation because do you try and get those picks? Do you try and cap the zone solo? There's really no right answer, and unfortunately for Fish and Quips, it just didn't work out, and all of their players went down at the same time.
Yeah, right. What can you really do? You're a Slayer, right? You can't physically outpaint 3 remaining members of the opposing team. But perhaps you can get the picks quickly enough to be able to turn that around to keep the zone in neutral so your teammates can respawn. And I think that was what was going through Magic's head there. But yeah, it was definitely a spicy situation in terms of what do you prioritize, what is your flow chart, what actions are you taking in which order.
Yeah, and you know, we really didn't see many team wipes during that game, except for at the end, and unfortunately that's when it's the most important. You know, you don't have a lot of time you can work with, and especially when you had so many points that you needed to get down to potentially win the game, it just makes it much harder.
Yeah, absolutely. The pressure of that, right? Knowing that you just have to hold your position, that you can't let the opposing team in. And then, of course, when you get picked, the question is, how do I get back in? How do I get back into the action and continue to influence objective in some manner? And that can lead to some very rushed decisions, some panic decisions, and not playing optimally, which is a struggle that all of us face as competitors.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, you're here in a different environment too, so they're just new surroundings. But of course, these players have been playing for quite a few hours, so they are likely used to it. But we are now hopping into Game 3. Assault and Pepper up 2-0. If they win, they will be moving on to the next loser round. Fish and Quips needs to get the reverse sweep in order to stay alive in this tournament.
Yes, they do. We do see Magic switching back to that Slosher, and also Fusion here on the Kenza Rapid Blaster. Marsh returning to that K-Gal, but it does look like Assault and Pepper is sticking with the comp that they have been running. They are a pickup, so they are going to just find what's comfortable for them, find what clicks within their pools, and just run with it, and that has been working very well for them so far this set.
Yeah, it really has. the first match was kind of a stalemate. In the second match, they looked a little more comfortable, but two nice picks there by Fish and Quips as they are now able to get to the tower, trying to push this just for a little bit, get that momentum going. Marsh with the Booyah Bomb ready, likely going to try and use it sometime near the checkpoint to have a player hop on, or they're going to save it. They actually have a lot of room that they can work with, but now Marsh is all alone. Marsh is going to have to retreat. So unfortunately, they were so close to getting past that checkpoint, but couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, that 52 standing on tower while the rest of their team pushed up. Did get dangerously close to clearing that first check. Clearing that first check in the first minute of the game would be huge for Fish and Quips, but just not able to do it as the Salt and Pepper does barrel towards that first check while Fish and Quips is 2 down. That brush looks like they're trying to get set up on their attic, which is a very dangerous place for a brush to be in terms of keeping you from dropping.
Look at this map control by Assault and Pepper. Tim, the only one on the tower. All of the other teammates are pushed up, getting past the first checkpoint easy breezy, and now past the second one too. Able to keep it going, getting a few of these Fish and Quips members out, but now Fish and Quips able to apply a little more pressure and get in, trying to spot all of these players who are flanking, but getting to 35 this early in the game for Assault and Pepper is very, very nice.
It's not just about having gotten to that 35, it is absolutely about having cleared that second checkpoint with 3 minutes left in the game. There's so much damage that you can cause past that second checkpoint, and how quickly it can snowball if you manage to get two and a half players down as they're coming out of spawn. So Assault and Pepper has set them up well for the rest of this game.
Yeah, they have. They set the tone early, and every time they get back on the tower, they won't have to get past those checkpoints. And again, unfortunately for Fish and Quips, when they were on the tower, they were very close, but they're going to have to ride it for the duration of that checkpoint. But right now, Fish and Quips, they did have a player advantage. Ooh, and can they get another pick? Yes, Tim with another pick, but able to getting splatted by a suction bomb from Magic. Magic waiting for this jump, able to shark, ooh, and able to avoid the bomb. And right now, they have a 3-player advantage.
Did you see that tech from Magic there, where he sloshed up and then landed the second slosh below, trying to layer the shots on top of each other for an instant kill? Very good mechanical definition there from Magic as they swipe up Soren with their teammate Fusion. It's just the two of them left, but they are stationed well on that left side for when their teammates respawn, and that pro is isolated underneath that wall. So this does look like a little bit of a momentum shift in favor of Fish and Quips.
Yeah, they have a little more map control. They're able to spot more of these Assault and Pepper's members. It's really helping them right now, and they're back on the tower, able to push up just a little bit, but Assault and Pepper doing a very good job not letting this tower really go anywhere. Fish and Quips now back on the checkpoint. Ooh, and a nice pick. Marsh on the tower, missiles coming in, Magic and a Lily trying to come up the side, and that's 3 players down on Assault and Pepper. This is looking very nice for Fish and Quips.
Yeah, and here we go with the momentum shifting. You have Magic up on those bats. That brush is isolated. The Booyah Bomb's coming out. They have missiles. They have armor. They're at that second checkpoint. There is so much happening right now in this moment, and Fish and Quips is doing a fantastic job of coordinating and being exactly where they need to be. Great team play there from Fish and Quips as they do pull lead. Finally, that slosher goes down.
13 KA for Magic as the slosher. Tower all the way to 17. What a very good run for Fish and Quips. If they're able to hold on to this or even just have a stalemate for the next minute, that is going to win them the game. And look at this. They have the player advantage once again. Are they going to get the wipe? No, the K-Shot is still alive. Confusion now trying to push up. Having a blaster, attacking on these ledges is absolutely incredible. They're going to get past this third checkpoint. Yes, they are. Can they get the KO? Will this be it? Will we move on to a game 4? Not quite yet, as Assault and Pepper able to push the tower back just a little bit, but we do see a Booyah Bomb. 2v2. Marsh back on the tower. Baller there as well. Assault and Pepper, they need to move this tower back if they want to win.
There is so much ground that Assault and Pepper has to cover in order to be able to get the W here. With 27 seconds remaining and, of course, overtime, getting that pick on the Junior is huge. They are going to be able to take down a significant chunk of paint, followed by the Rapid, which was doing some serious damage on those checkpoints. Tim, does look like they're preparing the push-up. They do have those missiles online, the Booyah, the Baller, but now they are in the situation where they have to get that tower past all that ground that they had previously covered. And knowing Fish and Quips, they are going to be holding those specials, waiting for just the right moment. That Booyah Bomb's coming out. They're going for the GG Booyah, but they need a player to jump on tower. There's no one there. Assault and Pepper's still on it.
They're still on the tower. Dan waiting by the tree, trying to strike down on this Rapid, able to get them, trying to avoid the suction bomb. They need somebody. now somebody's back on the tower. It looks like it's the Jet. Will this be enough for them to get the win? They are at the checkpoint. Can they get past it? They only have 2 players alive, but Magic is there. Magic comes in, able to take the tower and give them the win.
Magic clutching up. Look at Fish and Quips celebrating on stream. They are in it. They are trying to turn their energy around, going in for a reverse sweep. They do have to win the next 2 games to continue going in this tournament, and they have to have that mental prepared to be ready to do so.
You know, even if you're down and you know you have to win the next 2 games, when you have that excitement and that energy going in to the next 2 games, you're ready to go. You're ready to go. If I'm Magic, I'm so happy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like ready, and I saw, you know, members of their team were like, you know, grabbing each other like, let's go. This is great. Yeah.
Magic's comms so far this morning have just been absolutely fire. That squid is screaming from station to station. Just the energy of I am going to do this, which is exactly what you need at a LAN. A LAN is not just about who plays better, it's about who pops off harder. Who is causing the other team that is sitting right behind them to be shaking in their boots. And loud comms can be so intimidating and so effective at doing so.
Yeah, exactly. And we're, you know, on the stage it's a little different because you're not facing your opponents on like the group stages. So like the louder you are, the more important it is. But let's move on to game 4. We have Rainmaker, Humpback, Pump Track. Once again, Fish and Clips looking to get this win to move on to game 5.
They sure are. Fusion bringing out that signature blobber Stan. And we do see Assault and Pepper sticking with the same comp, except 17 Rats going for that Vink. So for that splashdown, possibly for that quick pop.
Yeah, now Fish and Clips able to control a little bit of zone, and they're going to have a lot of paint kind of with this junior. And knowing from experience yesterday, trying to fight a blob and a junior, breaking a Rainmaker barrier is very hard. Fish and Clips able to take the Rainmaker. They have it, trying to push up this right side. Lily is all alone, but Tim and 17 Rats are there to try and prevent the stop with the help of the rain. Lily's still going to be pushing forward. Marsh now using the buoy bomb, but able to try and get some picks. And Marsh is still alive. Marsh is alone, but is going to have to retreat with the Rainmaker getting the 49.
Yeah, but that's a decent opening push. They did manage to turn that corner around that elbow, and good job on Marsh for staying alive. Did pop that buoy bomb. It did look like they were going for the retake, but just was not able to do that given the paint pressure that Assault and Pepper was keeping up. That Vink being down is very good for them, but the question is for Fish and Clips is which direction you want to push in and how quickly do you want to do it?
Yeah, you know, and Marsh is going to pick it up once again, so maybe we'll find out sooner than later, but no, it's going to go down to these Penta missiles. As Assault and Pepper, they really haven't had an opportunity to control the Rainmaker quite yet. I know a few of these players are trying to spot Magic. They saw the slosher, but they're able to pick it back up. But now Soren using these Penta missiles is just like, hey, you're not going to get very far. But they are going to be going down to Magic as Magic. We're just seeing so many specials today, so many Penta missiles.
Yeah, I mean, that is the state of Splatoon 2. Oh, nice pick there from Rats. But yeah, as you mentioned earlier, Assault and Pepper has not physically had the space to breathe and grab that Rainmaker. If Fish and Quips is constantly holding objective, even if they're 1 or 2 players down, that just stalls the game for long enough to where Assault and Pepper just physically is not able to do anything.
Yeah, installing the game, you know, when you have the lead, that's important. That's just as important as trying to push the objective. Right now, Fish and Clips able to pick up the Rainmaker once again, trying to push it on the right side with a few more support players this time to help them out. How far will they get it? It looks like they may get a little further than where they were, but going to go down. But there are 2 players down on Assault and Pepper, so not the best situation they're in.
You know, those missiles coming out from Tim, going to get those members of Fish and Quips that were grouped up, of Magic coming in and getting the pick as Assault and Pepper burns through their specials, trying to hold on to that Rainmaker. Marsh taking a page out of the FLC book of play and just dying forward with that Rainmaker, but Fish and Quips is wiped. They are wiped for the first time all day, and you could all game, and you could see Fish and Quips, Assault and Pepper on stage popping off saying to just go, and they are holding objective for the first time this game and positioning themselves on elbow.
Assault and Pepper, they needed to control mid a little bit. They were able to do that. Now they're trying to push forward. Rats staying alive, unfortunately not getting that pick. Not a lot of room to work with for Assault and Pepper right now because Fish and Quips, they have a very good defensive set up as these blobs are trying to push forward and prevent the prevent the Rainmaker from moving forward, along with this rain, but both of those are now gone. Tim going to try and push it forward. It's going to be really hard, as they now have 3 players down, just the K-Pro for Salt and Pepper.
Blob is so fantastic in terms of defending that elbow between the wall, the storm, the physical pressure of the main weapon. It could be extremely difficult to clear that elbow if there is still a Blob left standing. We do see Lily putting up some paint pressure, getting up on that elbow. The pro is down as Fish and Quips is once again in control of objective. That armor is popped, but it is a great splat from Rats there as Fish and Quips tries and shift the battle lines just continuously forward towards Salt and Pepper's elbow. But that is a delayed wipe. Salt and Pepper now well positioned for another push.
This is looking really nice for Salt and Pepper. They had a player advantage. Now they are trying to push this Rainmaker. Tim is right there with the Rats, and somebody is trying to push through this through the ink wall. They're not able to get through. Splashdown to help clear them out. Will this be enough for Salt and Pepper to try and take the lead? No, it's not. What a wonderful stop by Fish and Quips, but Soren now getting a few picks. Soren staying alive, but now going down to Lily, and that is going to be a wipe.
That is a wipe. With Fish and Quips having that Rainmaker in their elbow, they are not popping it. They are not letting that reset. Actually, I take it back. Marsh is going to grab it, and where is Marsh going?
Oh, here we are. All right. So I believe this is technically a Rainmaker free zone, so the countdown is going to move more quickly, but they are going to go down and leave the Rainmaker kind of by the podium. And wait, is Rats up here?
Yes, Rats is up here.
There. No, oh Whoa. My gosh. Okay. Oh, that scared me. That scared. I'm sure that scared them too. Oh my goodness.
Look, goodness gracious! Salt and Pepper was just like, "We are not going to accept your cheese. Put the party platter down. We are going up and we are throwing it off the table." But Fish and Quips reacted. They played the game and they shut it down. But that was terrifying. They were up there so quickly. I was like, where did they come from?
Right. I know, like I think you have to hop on the podium to get up there, but imagine if they were able to pick it up. It would be interesting because they leave from the enemy spawn to the podium to get the win. Like, the number logistics of it just doesn't, it seems so weird, but that was scary. You know, anytime anybody brings the Rainmaker to a dangerous position, you know, you bring it, you know, like if you're playing Kelp Dome, you bring it around the other side by the Rainmaker podium. Like, I always get nervous because, like, what if somebody's flanking? What if somebody gets that splat? And they were so close to getting that. But hey, we are tied up 2-2. So Fish and Quips did such a wonderful job with that game. As we're moving on to Game 5, claimed with Macomart.
Very they're back. Both of them know that they have to win this next game, right? Otherwise, they're out. They're out for the count. This is it. This is make it or break it. Whether or not you are continuing in Low Tide City 2022 is made on this game, and the crowd feels it. I heard gas coming at both teams, just like, get it, gamers. This is going to be a fantastic show.
And what's hard now for Salt and Pepper, you know that Fish and Quips, they have things up their sleeves. They can pull off some crazy stunts, throwing these clams in from unconventional spots to try and extend the lead. But now we do see Magic on the Kenza Doolies, and I believe the same comp for Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, a little bit of a change up there from Fish and Quips. They have been rotating their comps from game to game. It is a Salt and Pepper who is the first team to lose a member, make that 2. It's just Rats and Tim underneath that basket, but those blobs are coming at them very aggressively as Lily goes in for an opening dunk.
Yeah, and that was really nice because they do have the player advantage. Marsh staying alive, hiding behind this ink wall, now going up to Booyah Bomb. There's the rain to help push some of these players out, and this is a very good push. Magic trying to stay alive. I think Lily's coming in with 9 clams. They get a power clam, able to get this all the way to 27, but now just 1 player alive. But what a fantastic opening push for Fish and Quips.
Yeah, in a banger opening push in essentially 45 seconds of this game. Salt and Pepper, this is the thing with Macomart, is you get wiped and the opposing team immediately has control of mid and thus has control of the clams. Salt and Pepper can do some serious damage here with those 2 power clams to make that 3 if they manage to get underneath the basket. But unfortunately for them, that blob, when they come out of respawn, knows exactly where all of them are, which is not something you ever want to blob them, though.
3 power clams ready on the side, but no, Lily's going to strike, saying, no, you are not going to score in any clams. We are going to make this push once again. I don't know if it's going to be enough to really diminish their penalty points, but hey, anytime you can make a distraction and have your 3 opponents with power clams kind of step away, I count that as a win. So good job for Lily for doing that.
Absolutely. Splitting the stimuli, forcing your opponents to look away from where they were currently looking. Fusion has another power clam. The missiles are going to get the pick on them, and Dan is going to go down as well. So we are in a 1v3 situation with just Magic left alive. It does look like they're off in mid, though, so just a little bit time to breathe. Salt and Pepper is going to be able to push in here. The question is, can they dunk?
It's going to be hard trying to avoid these 2 ink walls. So we have Tim with a power clam. Somebody now has 9 clams. They are able to score. Tim is going to miss their clam, though. We do have some players. Soren able to pick it up and score. They are still trying to get some more clams in. It's going to be harder to get closer to the basket, but they're able to score from behind. Soren behind the basket trying to throw some clams in as more members from Fish and Quips able to push up. It looks like this will get to 51, so a very good push for Salt and Pepper, but again, Fish and Quips, they had such a strong opening push that any push you do now, you just have to have gravy on top and make it better and better.
Yeah, but they do have that power clam, and they are regaining that control of it. Great team play there from Marsh and Magic. 2 down on the side of Salt and Pepper, and look, Fish and Quips has taken control of that right stack. Between those 2 power clams, they will be able to clear penalty points. Fusion going in, Marsh following up. There is a Lily on those paper towels with enough clams to KO. That is your game 5. Fish and Quips is continuing their LTC run.
Oh my goodness. What an incredible, incredible final game 5. Like, literally each game got more and more exciting, and you guys couldn't see it, but right after that, Magic just stood up and was like, yeah, I mean, it was super, super hype. Congratulations to this Fish and Quips team. And now we see them fist bumping their opponents, and that's one of the best things about the land. You're able to turn around and say, hey, GG's in person, and, you know, give a pat on the back, give a fist bump, do whatever. So, oh my goodness, what an incredible set.
It really was an incredible set, and that's part of the LAN experience, honestly. Magic has been a gamer to watch this morning, just because of the energy, and that's part of what makes LAN so exciting. Is you can turn around and look at your opponent and be like, hey man, you're going down, but then when the match is over, it's GG's, and we're all here for the love of the game. Especially with flying out to a LAN, everybody's just here to play and feel the LAN itself. It does make such a difference.
And another thing I loved about that final set, Lily did such a good job just being so sneaky. You know, there was that moment when Salt and Pepper, they had 3 power clams being formed. Lily's like, nope, I'm just going to form one. We're going to throw all the distraction energy over this way. We want you guys to back up. And then at the end, able to just sneak around the side, throw in those clams, and just be so sneaky, you know, and just get the win. It's so fun to see, especially as a junior player myself. I always enjoy watching Lily.
Oh yeah, Lily is a inspiration for a lot of the junior players in the scene. Very talented gamer, and you love to be able to see it and be around that energy. And I know a lot of people have been able to meet their idols, people who inspired them to play particular weapons, people who inspired them to do particular tasks. I got to tell Siren that Siren was the reason I got in the commentary.
Oh, really?
So being able to tell Siren, who's now TOing and leading the scene in a much different manner, like, hey, gamer, like, I'm here because of you.
Right.
That's such an incredible feeling. And just everybody talking about their talents and their inspiration and what they hope for their scene. And lifting each other up, honestly.
Yeah, and that's the most important part, too. And, of course, when you're here, you want to perform well, and you want to do your best. But again, it's all about the camaraderie for what's going on. But hey, coming up next, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 versus Nonfiction. So again, Nonfiction, the team who was able to take on Cherry Limeade and beat them. So I believe this is the winners semifinals that we are moving on to.
Ooh, we're getting somewhere. Winners semifinals. Oh heck yeah! Yeah, that set between Nonfiction and Cherry Limeade was a very hype sight. I was in the crowd at that moment, absolutely screaming my mind out. And I was sitting next to Dio, who was cheering for Popgun, and I was sitting across from them cheering for Cherry Limeade, and we were both just like screaming at the top of our lungs every single second we got.